everybody, Zeidoktor here with Typical Manga Fan, and this episode of the Typical Manga Review is going to be dedicated to Bleach, Chapter 674, Father 2. Not to be confused with My Two Dads.
Well, technically, he is
Yeah, you're right.
Yuabog is saying that he's his father, and since he already has Ishin, that's kind of like two fathers.
Yeah, actually.
Except he's saying, yeah. So
go and confuse it with My Two Dads.
But here's the thing is that Yuabog is saying that Ishin is the surrogate, whereas Yuabog is actually the great times 10 grandfather.
Yeah, in the Viz version he says stand-in, but same kind of difference. Anyway, in the chapter itself, we kind of see where Ichigo got blasted into the wall and he just kind of falls out, kind of without ceremony there. Oh.
Yeah.
Yep, he's like,
and we see
and Yuwak's like, we're done talking. It's been fun. Now then, let's see here. Sorry, I gotta click through the pages.
Yeah, we basically see him basically telling him Ichigo that let me show you what I can do, and you see all this black mass just surrounding his body, and he's basically already standing up, right? So he's about ready to fight and all that.
Yeah.
I'm assuming, is he turning back his
I think he is. He's turning it back on now because he's getting all those sulking eyes and everything going. So let me show you what I can do, Ichigo. We're getting delayed.
Is he turning the? I think he is turning the Omniscient back on, right?
Looks like it, because he's getting all the black ooze over him again.
What? I did when he said he turned it off.
Well, he said he was just trying to turn it off during the conversation, I think, while they were talking. Now that the actual fight started, he's turning it back on.
But he better. I swear to God, if he turned it off, that'd be the dumbest thing to do.
Yep.
So now we see Ichigo basically saying, "Okay, I'm gonna rush it because screw tactics, screw find a guy." Wait. Remember that this guy can see everything. Can see into the future and know everything he does. I mean, no. Okay,
well. Wait. Actually, when you put it like that, there's really no sense in making a big old strategy, is there?
True. Well, I mean, but here's the thing though. But it's still. Do you think it's still better than nothing rushing in?
Right.
Actually, well, I mean, yeah. Here's the thing though: is that not only is Yuabok can see it, can see into the future and shit, but he is all powerful too. Just even without that. So I don't know. I feel like the only way to do is to push Yuabok into an unwinnable situation. I don't know how you could do that.
Not with this.
And maybe that's. I think that's the strategy I was thinking about. Find a way to get Yuabok to still be able to see it coming, but not be able to do anything about it.
Yep.
How do we do that? And
yeah, because that's. Yeah, like I said, that or find out that there is some kind of hole in the omniscience, because that seemed to be an issue with Oswald, but that could be just lack of control.
Yeah. So basically, Yuabok says he's letting his hatred cloud his mind. That makes him rush.
Hang on, can I do the voice?
Yeah.
Okay. Charging in so recklessly, dragging that poor woman here with you. Did your hatred and cloud your mind to make you forget? Don't be so impatient. And then there's a quick little attack. It's like, you'll be devoured by me. Your death's inevitable. So let's not rust and enjoy ourselves a bit more. You have no idea how much time it took and how many sets of circumstances I had lined up just right to have you created. So cease the impetuousness and stop making light of your oh-so-important life. Your body, your power, they were never yours alone to begin with, Ichigo. They've returned to their rightful owner. So spew out every last bit of your power and then die, Ichigo.
Well,
I'm enjoying that too much.
To be true, to be fair, the person who has been giving his power this entire time was a guy who looked like Yuabok.
Yeah.
And represented him, basically. So it was technically Yuabok's power.
Old man Zen gets you.
Yeah. But, I've always wondered something.
Yeah.
Is, why would he treat Ichigo so special? Because Ichigo's everything?
I could see that, because, I mean, if that's the case, maybe he's getting all of that, too. And maybe it's even making all of power compatible for him.
But here's the problem, though. I thought the Quincy's, hated everything that wasn't pure. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, we've seen cases... Well, if we're going to use the Nazi analogy, I mean, Hitler wasn't exactly pure himself.
He wasn't, but it was still, the problem is Ichigo is, he's basically what we consider a mutt. He has Quincy powers, he has Shinigami powers, he has Fullbringer powers, and he has Hollow powers.
I mean, at the same time, the people who would actually care what he's talking about are going to be dead soon, or are already dead. So
Well,
I don't
yeah.
see where it would really matter to him at this point.
No, but what I'm saying is, I thought he was the one who started because he made that whole like that whole thing where he took everyone's powers that were not pure. So I thought that the purification, like the pure thing, is all him, and that he only gave an exception to Ishida just because he's like, oh, you survived my purification, like basically it's like his final solution, right? He killed everyone that wasn't pure, and so he just said, oh, you survived, therefore you must be special.
Hmm.
I think Ichigo survived because his Quincy powers were not awakened, right? So
that, or maybe like his other powers insulated him a bit.
and that's the thing that excuse me. And the difference is that Ichigo, Uryu did not have hollow powers. Ichigo does, and that's poison to a Quincy.
Well, the only thing I can think of there, is, assuming he would get that power in the first place, is maybe the other powers like Quincy and Shinigami are kind of insulating it or making it compatible.
Yeah, because if you think about it, Quincy's are basically human.
Yeah.
Except with and the only other part like Uryu is 3/4 Quincy and 1/4 like human because his mom was like half, right?
Something like
that. That's very different from Ichigo, who is not just human but also everything that you think of. So it doesn't make any sense for Yubak to really want those powers because it wouldn't be damaging to him. At the very least, the hollow powers be damaging, and the Shinigami powers he might just like not like because they are the opposite of, or at least the enemies of Shinigami. I'd say opposite, but if you think about it, which is the actual opposite? Because we have hollows.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that Shinigami were the opposite of hollows. But then now it's like, oh, they're the opposite of Quincy's. Wait, they're not. It's so weird. Like,
well, maybe it's like a sort of three-way opposite thing going.
that's what it seems to be like. Because I thought, the whole, hollow powers are poison to the Quincy's. Like, oh, are they opposites? Oh, I thought they were the opposites of the Shinigami. But then the Quincy's and the Shinigami have like a rivalry or like a hatred going on, like a blood war. It's just really weird,
Yeah. Anyways, moving forward though, the next scene brings us back to Rukia and Renji. They're kind of evading attacks by Gigantor, or rather, Byakuya is evading the attacks for them. And Byakuya tells them to go and join up with Ichigo.
And yeah, and they basically are starting to hesitate, and he basically pushes them forward, saying, "Look, I'm not saying that Ichigo needs you. I'm saying that I don't have a need for you, either of you. And if I made myself clear, you're excused." And they all basically have this soldier, like, "Yes, sir, we appreciate your candor." They are too good for Byakuya. I know. Yeah. Just like you got a sister who loves you, even though he was gonna kill her, and you got a guy who's like serving you, as your lieutenant.
Well, some back in the day, he probably just respond to abuse. There you go.
I mean, that's basically what. Although Renji did fight him and failed.
Yeah.
So basically they go off to help Ichigo while he comes back comes back to Hitsugaya, and Hitsugaya is basically like,
Yeah.
I saw that you care.
Yeah.
And so.
And it's like Byakuya's saying like he worded his instructions like in such a way to make them go. It's like, really, you don't say. But you sure you're okay with that? They really should. Well, I think there's a weird little translation here because it's like they really should be heading to where Kurosaki is, but that's where they're already going.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. And it's
so
I don't know. Since you're like prodigy and all, if you ever attended the academy, but we weren't taught to fight for our superiors or our families. To the best of their abilities, all Shinigami protect all their friends and humans with their very lives. You and I may be fellow acquaintances with Kurosaki, but those who are his close friends.
Yeah, finally that thing, the whole, like, they were friends with Ichigo actually comes back into the forefront, because I swear to God, I feel like Koopa forgot about them,
Yeah.
Especially Rukia. She's supposed to be the female lead! Are we forgetting that? And then again, he forgot that Ichigo was the male lead too, so. So
he also points out that right or wrong, they'd probably go to him anyways.
Yep, pretty much.
Yeah.
And Byakuya agrees, and then we go back to the Uryu and Hashwald fight, where Hashwald is basically talking about, essentially he's referring to his own powers, because he's like, oh, everything exists on scales, and, to lives, progress, right and wrong, everything is on a scale, so, and that's what makes who you are. And you can see Uryu on the ground being disappointing as always.
Yes.
Yeah. he got seriously screwed over. Like the last time you see him fight a big fight was against Urkiora, and that was off screen too. He got his arm cut off too. So he basically says like, I don't see who you really are. Who are you? You know, who is the real Ishida Uryu? You know, Uryu Ishida. You have a desire. Is it truly your earnest desire to put your life on the line for those shallow, heartless humans? And basically, he says, you know, who is the real you? Not him. Uryu basically responds back saying, you know, get off your soapbox. And you know, who is the real Ushida? You ask. They say Ushida. Ishida.
Ishida Uryu, yeah.
Yeah. And then he basically makes his cross bow again, and basically says, I don't know either, until I see all of you drop like flies. I'm just thinking to myself, what is the entire point of him pretending to switch sides? Because now it's just blatantly, I want to kill all of you.
Well, like I said, he was going to try and at least like destroy them from the inside. He did have a plan for that. It just didn't work.
Yeah, so it looks really bad in hindsight.
Well, you can't blame Uryu for that. I mean, you can't blame Uryu for not knowing about the fourth wall.
No, I'm blaming the writing. Because something needs to come out of it, not just, well, that didn't work. Okay, back to your side now.
Yep.
Come on.
Then we get what looks like a little coin or hubcap little thing flipping around. And look.
Yeah, yeah. So the coin you saw was remember the sun thing, like the gate.
Oh, that's right.
That allowed. Yeah. And so we see Ishin and Ryukin, the father of Ichigo and Uryu. Yeah. Father 2. Hey, 2 fathers.
Yep, and Ryukin's like I never imagined this portal we used decades ago. It's still being worked in order, and it's like because apparently his own father, Uryu's grandfather, used it when he was exiled to get away.
Yeah.
And it's the one and only time I've ever been grateful for my father's sticky-fingered habit. Speaking ill of your own father, and you always wonder why people call you a bad son.
Well, he's also a bad father too, because he basically treats Uryu like shit.
Yeah. There's another point of possible mistranslation on there, but it works just that's fine either way.
So yeah, I'm actually kind of excited because I'm throughout the entire thing, I'm just thinking like why is Ryukin not doing? Where's Ryukin? Because he was the one who basically said, no, you don't deserve the last Quincy title. I deserve it because I'm better than you. And he was shown to be much more powerful than Uryu, right? And I'm thinking, how powerful is this guy? So, and Ryukin, I don't know, like Ryukin has been shown to be extraordinarily powerful. So I want to see where he's really at. And also, he's the last pure Quincy that isn't part of the the Bannerite. So I want to see what he can do, you know. But yeah, I mean, I just keep thinking to myself like, Uryu drank from Yubok's powers. When is that going to come into play? What is that going to do? Like that can't just be it. It's like, oh, I drank your blood. Your powers will awaken soon, you know. But I'm really excited, honestly. Like, but I know better. I know better though. I know better.
Yeah, my feelings are a little bit more mixed, just because I don't know, like the way this has been going, like we have Gigantor and we have like Hichigaya and Kenpachi appear out of nowhere. With Askin, we throw in Grimjo and Nell. Now we're getting these two guys.
Oh yeah, too many characters. Yeah.
That, and it feels like he's kind of trying to solve his problem by just throwing more characters at him.
Well, the difference is in this case, these two characters actually have meaning. Like they have been affected by Yubok, and specifically with Ryukin, he's the other Quincy. Like he definitely had a role to play in this. Like these two were bound to be part of this thing. I had a problem with the focus on the other Shinigami, like the, like why do we care, like the Hitsugaya or Byakuya. Like I get that they're popular characters, but they don't have as much investment into this arc as someone like Ryukin would or Ishin would.
Or even then, they're getting it at the cost of people who are already present at the time.
Yeah, like Rukia and Renji, as whether you like them or not, they're supposed to be in the spotlight more than Hitsugaya and Byakuya.
I was honestly thinking more of the visor and everything.
Oh yeah, the visor. Yeah, they got shoved in and they got shoved out literally in one chapter. I don't know what the hell is up with them. They're probably the most disappointing group of all. You know. Especially since they rarely, like, the thing, they can only use the mask for like three minutes, but it feels like 20 seconds, really. So effectively, they are basically normal Shinigami, like in every other respect, like because they don't use their powers that much, and some of them don't even use them at all now. So they're just Shinigami. Then they're no longer, in terms of their role, Vizards, you know. So I don't know what's going on, but it also here's a weird part is that I noticed something interesting. So you know how Ichigo's supposed to be everything, like he's supposed to be Quincy, Fullbringer, Human, and Shinigami, and Hollow, right?
Yeah.
Did you notice that despite all of that, all his abilities are just augment his Shinigami powers, and they never actually.
I saw you tweet this actually, and I never really noticed until you mentioned it there. But you're right. Like
Think about it. So
he always defaults to his Shinigami Soul Reaper powers. I mean, he doesn't even use the Hollow Mask anymore for starters.
Well, it's not even the fact he doesn't use them. It's that when he does use them, they don't do anything other than just support his Shinigami powers. For example, let's look through it. Okay, so Human is just Human, right?
Right.
Let's go for Hollow powers first. So Hollow powers like the Vizards have shown that you could use Sero, you can use other Sonito.
Right.
Well, it's not. He showed it. Like they basically show that you can use some type of Hollow techniques. Ichigo's only used those in Hollow form. When he wears his Hollow mask, he just gets stronger. Like in terms of just your strength and your speed, which is exactly what his Bankai does. But he says, and he can use a stronger Getsuga Tensho, but then all his Shinigami ability is just more powerful. Then there's no unique ability he gains from that. He never used the Sero. He never used the Bala. He didn't do anything. He doesn't use the Sonito. He only does all of that in his Hollow form.
Yeah. Well,
even though the Vizards prove that you don't have to be in Hollow form to do that.
I was about to say, like, does he need to be the match form? But if you just said it yourself. But didn't the Hiyori, just before she got taken out, actually go Hollow before she started going Sero?
Yeah, they have to go. No, they have to go Hollow before using their Hollow abilities. They have to do that.
Okay.
So that's why when Ichigo does that, I was like, I say, oh well, maybe he just hasn't learned it yet. But at this point, he's like, he's not gonna learn at all. And let's go to the Fullbringer powers. This is the one that was like the worst one because it's just like you show all the members of the execution, right, as well as some other guys, and you saw they all have unique abilities, with possibly the exception of King Ginjo, who's kind of boring. But so you had a woman who can. The dirtier her boots were, the stronger she gets. You had a girl who could like possess people or go into people's bodies and then take people's like souls and put them in stuffed animals, all that stuff, and shrink them in size. You had another guy who can basically like bring video games to life.
And you have the one guy who is time stopping.
That's Kiriko.
Yeah. Oh, that's the one Kenpachi took out right away. Anyway, you were saying I interrupted you there.
Oh yeah. And then you had let's look at Ichigo. What were his Fullbringer powers? It was basically a dumbed down version of his Shinigami powers. That's what it was. Especially the second form, which is literally just the Shinigami powers except weaker. Right? Because all he did was just use Getsuga Tensho over and over again, but just weaker. It was just a weaker version of his Shinigami powers. That was all it is. And then you go to his Quincy powers. So he could. So they obviously they have very unique abilities too. They have blue vein, blue whatever the hell, and they have bows, and they have all this like you saw like you look at the stern windows, they all have unique abilities.
Right.
Ichigo has shown he can use blue vein unintentionally, but now that he's awakened his true powers, what does the form his Quincy powers have taken form as a sword, which is a Shinigami thing. And the only thing he's used it for is to do a Getsuga Tensho, which is a Shinigami power. So maybe the Quincy can do something different. His Quincy powers can do something different. But so far, it's just been used to enhance his Shinigami abilities. Right. So Hollow, Fullbringer, and Shinigami. Not Shinigami. Quincy.
Yeah.
Have even though all the people who have been part of those races have used unique abilities only they could use. Ichigo, being all of them, uses none of their powers.
Yeah,
it's just I'm stronger now. I can use my Shinigami. Yeah.
I mean, I can at least see Shinigami being the default because that's where he started. That's maybe what he's used to. But you're right. He hasn't really been using a lot of the other abilities much. And the Quincy one, he hasn't really had much reason to or much chance to really know what he can do with those, has he? He's only ever used them like one time. It's only been literally like a day or two.
Yeah, well, he's gonna have to learn now because it's basically the final fight.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like so far, like he could change that, but so far that hasn't been the case. He's just used it to get to Kintensho with an X. But the thing is, like, it's okay to default to the Shinigami powers because that is his predominant power. I mean, they even say it multiple times, like you are a Shinigami. But the Visors are predominantly Shinigami, and they use Sero and all the time. They like, and then what was it? And then his Fullbringer powers, like, they were literally just his Shinigami powers. So when I was watching the Fullbringer or reading the Fullbringer, I was like, oh my gosh, these guys have such unique abilities. The guy who can manipulate chance, the woman who basically, like, it's power based on, like, based on how dirty her boots get. I mean, and then Ichigo's just a Power Ranger uniform that reminds me of a Hollow, and he just uses Geto Tensho, and he uses swords. Wow, it seems to me that he doesn't use the unique abilities that he can potentially use. He just uses them to enhance his basic fundamental abilities, which is really boring, because we're not there, so we don't feel him getting stronger. We don't see him getting stronger. We just see him make a really big slash. That's it. So I don't know. I'm just disappointed by how Ichigo is everything, yet he doesn't use any of those special abilities. At least not intentionally. Like, again, he used Sero as a Hollow,
right,
but not as Ichigo. Like Ichigo in control.
You mean like when his High Hollow like take over completely?
Yeah, like that's the only time he's ever used Hollow powers. Like that's when he does Sonidos, that's when he does Seros, that's when he does like all the other shit. But whenever he used his Hollow powers, it was just to augment his already there Shinigami powers.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. His Bankai is the same. His Bankai was just faster, stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I mean, like I said, it seems. I am hoping that we might see something good come out of Ryukin and his scene be in there. At the very least, maybe like some interesting additions to the backstory. Like I said, at the same time, like I said, my mixed feelings is that we're just kind of throwing more character at the problem. I haven't gotten any really special opinion on the idea of like the fact that he's mostly just augmenting his Soul Reaper powers. Though I do think that's a pretty good observation, though.
It's just something I was thinking about. Like I had those issues. I think the issue first came out was like when I was just like, oh my gosh, he can use the Sarah because he has a mask on, and he never did it. Then his programming power, I was like, oh my gosh, these guys can do such amazing things. What's his programming power? Oh, it's just like a miniaturized, weaker version of his Shinigami powers.
Yeah.
Oh, he can use Quincy powers. What can he do? Does he have bow now? Oh, it's just a second sword. Oh, maybe he can do something with the second. Like some people say that what he can do was take the two swords and combine them into a bow. Well, I hope he does that because I swear to God, yeah, that'd be hella neat. Except we don't know if that's gonna actually happen. Just people speculating.
Yeah.
And he could use blue. I mean, the thing is though, like blue vein and blue whatever the hell, like all that stuff. They're just really basic techniques. Like they're not as flashy as a full-on ability. Like arrows.
Yeah. Or
some type of unique something. I don't know. I just for some weird reason, despite all the creativity surrounding powers in this manga, Ichigo of all people has the most blandest powers ever.
And he's the one who sees the most use too, just because he's the main character.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I said, like, just because it's effective doesn't mean it's fun to read. Like, you can tell me, oh, this guy's stronger and faster. It's like, okay, but I can't experience that. I'm reading panels on a page. It's not as fun, unless you like when Urahara does his technique that can suture stuff. That's like fun. That's fun to read.
Yeah.
Or when you see Renji use his Bankai, like the second version. I like the second version better.
Yeah.
That's fun. Like that's just fun. Like that's not the same thing as his Shika. Shika is just a long sword that can stretch. So when you see Ichigo, it's like, oh, well, you're stronger and faster. Okay, I get that. It makes sense. But let's see, what is there anything else you can do? And it's just, and all these abilities, like he's getting stronger. Hollow, Quincy, Fullbringer, they're all just, oh, I'm faster than I used to be. I'm stronger than I used to be. Okay, is that it? I can use a more stronger to get to Tensho. Is that it? I can make it an X. Okay, I mean that's the thing. Like even with the X is just like what is the blandest way you can use two swords with it to get to Tensho? Make it an X. I mean I get that one though because he has the X has been like a big thing with him, but
Right.
I hope to God that's like not the only technique he uses. You know, I hope there's more. So yeah, I'm hyped to see. I'm kind of hyped to see how Ryukin and Ishin.
How they fit into this?
Yeah, because, I mean they had to. Like I knew they were coming, and I think it was good that they came because they had too much to do with this arc. But
Yeah, they're too tied into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that sense, I kind of see your point. Like the fact that they're there does have a good reason for it beyond compared to other characters we've been seeing kind of get tossed to the forefront.
Now, if you show me Ikaku and Yumichika, then I'd be like, what the frick are they doing?
Yeah. What happened to them anyway? Last we saw, they were watching Kenpachi unleash hell on Zeidoktor.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
Yeah, that's true.
What happened to most of these other Gote 13 anyway? What happened to like all the visors? It's such a disappointment. Those guys are literally a disappointment. I say literally. I mean they are literally. They are the embodiment of disappointment.
Yeah. Kind of funny thing, like this whole thing with you walking my little voice for him started me thinking like Jeff Foxworthy. Like, if you're a omniscient being with delusions of godhood, you might be a Quincy. If you're a cold sniper who turns himself into Tweety Bird, you might be a Quincy. I don't know, that's the only two I've really gotten right now, but I just started making myself chuckle more than I should with that. Alright. But anything else you need to add, or anything else you want to throw in before we wrap up?
No, not really.
Alright there. I guess that has been our review of Bleach, chapter 674, Father 2, or My Two Dads. Go with what you like. Go ahead and take us away.
Bye.